Hello and welcome back to Just Painted. Welcome back. Okay, so you saw that I did the clear piece for this mask for the Eternaut. Alright, so I started painting the figure, and I did a little quick paint up of the skin tone, which is not a lot. It's only this right here that I'm showing you right now. It's not a lot of skin tone, it's just the face. So basically I just added some tan flesh, did some pastels, and then I added a little tan flesh on top of that just to meld everything together. And then, sorry for the background noise, guys. Got the AC, printers going, I got a lot of stuff going on. I apologize for that. I'll do my best. So I'll try to filter some of this stuff out if I can, and then over everything else, I added some highlights with some olive flesh. Really basic, really simple. I still have to do the eyebrows and the eye. Okay, I'm going to leave that for a little later. I want to jump into doing some of the clothing. Okay, now I'll put maybe a picture up here for reference of where we're going to go with this. What I'm thinking about doing is starting off with the figure itself, not this right here. And what I would like to do is start adding some color to this. Now I want to add a base color to the jacket. The jacket is not a... It looks like a leather, suede-y kind of jacket. It's a dark brown, like a chocolate brown almost. All right, so I think I'm going to do some stippling with that because it has a lot of different tones. But I want to do a base color of a dark brown color to this. Maybe add some of it to the backpack for some shadow. Now, a very dark brown, like a chocolate brown here. This is a darker green, not so much a military green, all right, but like a slate green kind of color, all right. And then the backpack is more like an olive drab, like a military color for the backpack. It does have some of the straps are a little darker than I noticed. I've been watching some of the episodes again, but just to pick up some of the details. The shoes are like different types of browns and light browns and stuff like that. All right, and then obviously we got the shotgun and the gloves. So there's not a lot of skin tone, guys. So there's going to be a lot of browns and a lot of greens going on here, right? So now the cowl, I think it's the hood is like a jade green. Okay. So I have something that probably simulates that pretty good. All right, so we'll go through that. All right, but it's pretty simple. I think it's pretty simple. It looks like a pretty simple kit to paint, hopefully. All right, so hopefully it'll be a nice little kit to paint. What I'm excited about is doing the snow effect when we get to this. All right, so that's what I'm looking forward to doing. All right, but there it is right there, the Eternaut, the label. Okay, so we're gonna get started with this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up a little bit here because I just finished doing the skin tone. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of the stuff away because I'm not gonna need it again for now. I want to make some room here, and we're gonna start off by doing a dark brown. All right, so put a base color on this, and put some on the bottom here. All right, but then we'll do that, and then we'll work on. But the way I like to do, guys, is working from the inside out, and so I will have to do the big long coat first, and then we'll do the backpack, and then we'll move down to the legs and the shoes, all right, and then continue with the rifle and everything else. All right, so a little step by step. A lot of cool details. You got the little hook there for the jacket, buttons, really cool stuff. All right, really nice kit. All right. So let's continue on and keep on working on it. All right, so before I continue here, I just want to go over something real quick. I did the boots, I did the jacket all in black brown color. Okay, where is it? I just started a new bottle, so. But I love this color. This is black brown, okay. So I did the jacket and I did the boots. Okay, I want to give everything a good dark undertone on these things right here. Okay, so I also did a little shadows on the pants on the bottom, since it's going to be, underneath the jacket, kind of. All right, but if you guys want this kit, you want to print it for yourself. It is available on CG Trader by CMM Sculpture Design. I'll leave all the links down below for you guys if you guys are interested. All right. So Carlos Matias, he did a beautiful job on the sculpting and on the kit itself. He has a bunch of other stuff that is really, really cool. I suggest you guys check it out. If you do your own printing, check it out. Go to see CMM Digital Sculptures. All right. So he's the one who sculpted this kit, which is a beautiful kit. All right. So there we are right now. I'm going to let this dry really well and then seal it. And then we come back, I'm going to start doing some color on the jacket. I'm doing some stippling and things like that. All right, because I want to give it, it's kind of like a multi-tone color jacket, depending on the shadows, and everything like that. So I want to see what I can come up with as far as that goes with the stippling. I think I want to try to get that effect. All right, so I think I can get that with the stippling method. All right, but that's where we are right now. All right, I just wanted to talk about the kit real quick. I don't think I mentioned in the beginning of the video, which I don't think I did, but anyway, CMM Digital Sculptures. I'll leave the links down below. All right, for Carlos Matias stuff on CG Trader. That's where it's available. All right, and I'll put it there. All right, it's a beautiful kit. I love it. I think he did a great job on it. All right, but I'm going to let this sit and dry for a little bit. Okay, and then we will continue. I'll have to seal it once I'm done. And make sure that you use, this is what I like to use. This stuff is just great, right? It's the Krylon UV resistant clear, and I use the matte, right, for this stuff, okay? All right, so I'll see you back in a little bit. Alright, so where we left off, I painted the jacket, the coat. I think I'm happy with that right now. I want to leave it alone. I just need to do the details on that. But I kind of like it. It's got a lot of, let me show you what I got. Nice stippling, with a little texture to it and everything. Alright, so that's where I'm at right now with that. So what I want to do is I want to darken up the hood. Alright, so what I did is I added to the original color, I added a little bit of transparent black, okay, to the color, just to darken it up a little bit. Alright, so I got it on the airbrush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to what I'm going to do is just going to darken up some of the area, maybe the whole thing, I'm not sure yet, but I didn't like it was just too bright. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of darkness to it and see how it looks. Alright. So there we go right there. I didn't want to do too much. I wanted to bring that tone, that really bright tone down, which it did quite a bit, you know. It was very bright. So I brought it down just a little bit. I still want to do a little more deeper shadows with a little bit darker color. But that's it right there. Alright, so there's some hardware here that you got to paint, like the zippers and things like that. But I think that's pretty good right there. Alright, so I'll be back. Alright, so welcome back. So let's start on the pants real quick. Now I'm going to do the pants, and the color that I'm going to do that is, let me show you real quick. I had this set of World War I German uniform colors, and this right here is going to be the first color I'm going to use, the World War I German uniform base. Now these are the old AK interactive colors. I like these colors. I used it before for some kind of coverall on another figure, and I like that color that came out. It's kind of like the best green that I have close to the pants that he's wearing. So I'm going to use this color right here. It comes in a set of 3. So I got the shade and like a highlight. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to use these, so we'll see. Okay, we'll see how it comes out, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so but this is the color that I'm using. I'm using the base color for that. I just give it a good mix It's been sitting around for a while. So, all right, so let's get going. Let's get started with that. Alright, so hey everybody, welcome back, and I'm going to continue painting. So, I'll show you where I left off. The jacket, be a little more light here. Because I'm just working a little bit every day, and I get the chance to come up here and paint. So, this is where I left off. So the jacket is all done, pants are done. Okay. Alright, so what I want to do now is I want to start working on the backpack and putting a color on the backpack. Alright, so the color that I have available right now, and that is from CMM Interactive, I got US Olive Base Uniform. Alright, so it's a green, it's a military green. So I figured let me put some of this color down for the base for the and I got this color from this set right here from the US World War II US Army soldier uniform colors. Right. It comes with a bunch of colors, and I'm thinking about using the dark olive green for the shadows, or not for the so much for the shadows, but also for the darker parts of the canvas. Alright, because it does the strapping, some of the strapping and the zipper lines are all darker colors. Alright, there is also a little bit of brown in some of these tabs that he has here. So no big deal. Alright, but we'll put down some base color and then we'll go from there. Alright, so that's the color that I chose, and this is what we're going with. Alright, so I'm going to put some here in this. And pick a brush, and then we'll get started. Alright. Okay, so really quick, let me show you where I left off. Pants, coat, backpack is all done. Just need to dim it down a little bit, a little flat. I'm going to do the shoes now, alright? And then I'll move on to something else after that. Alright, so hopefully, let me get some light there. There you go. There you go. Sorry about that. So there you go right there. So I'm going to start doing the shoes. Alright. But there it is, everything right there. Alright, so let's start doing that. The color, oh, really quick. The color I'm going to be using is ochre khaki from the World War II U.S. Army set. Alright. And here we go. All right, so welcome back, and let me show you where I'm at. Let me take this out here. And off camera, I did some little touch-ups. I'm not sure if I recorded the part of the boots or not, but just basically that's, I just put a little bit of a tan color. I use ochre khaki for the brown part of the boots, and I left the other stuff in I used the black brown, and then I used the rubber, which is an awesome paint by AK Interactive, the rubber black. All right, for the soles of the boot. Okay, which came out really good. I'm not sure if I did anything much else. Just put some silver tabs on where that should go here. And some things I do off camera because, you know, I get my head in the way, and, you know, I got to get it close to my body or things like that. So those things I don't You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably going to either edit those out, or, you know, I don't film them. All right, but there's where the kit is at. It's actually coming out really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. I did do the laces in black, but I don't know if they show very well with all the other their colors in the way and stuff. So, you know, I'm not sure if you can see it or not. All right, but everything's coming out really nice. I'm really happy with everything the way it's coming out. So nice. When I did all the stippling, it came out with some nice texture on the coat. I'm not sure if the camera, you guys can pick it up or see it, but there it is right there. I mean, I'm really happy with the way that came out. Color of the pants and everything, I'm really, really happy with everything. So, what I'm working on now is another thing that I did off camera. And I'm trying to share as much as I can with you guys. When, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to do things from far away, especially when it's a small kit. So I get my head over it. You don't want to see my bald headed, you know, my bald spot. So, but what I did is I used rubber black, the rubber black from AK for the mask. You guys see me paint this stuff in the face and everything, and then I use for the metal around the face mask. I use this stuff from Citadel. It's a lead belcher color. Yeah, I love this color. I've used it in a lot of different stuff before. So I need to do the zippers, and there's a couple of zipper pulls down here in the neck area on the bottom. I forgot to do it. I was going to use this color too. But what I want to do today is I want to finish the face. I'll try to do as much as I can as far as this goes. Just do the eyebrows, paint in the eyes, and then, well, just do the whites in the eyes, and then I'll see if it dries enough where I can start putting some color. I want to paint. I think I'm going to paint the eyes, not use decals. Well, maybe I'll use decals. I don't know yet. You know, I'm a little bit either or. So, but I love the way the rubber black looks on the kit. All right. So let me get a couple of things ready. I think I want to do the eyebrows first, and I want to add a little darker color to the eyes, and then go over it with the light color. And I'll show you the paints that I'm using and all that. All right, but there it is right there. I just love the way his face looks with the. He's got very pronounced bags under his eyes. All right, so. But I do like the way that's coming out, the skin tone and everything, how it came out. Okay, but it wasn't a lot. Based, you know, used to what you guys used to seeing and stuff, there's not a lot of color. So let me get some stuff ready and I'll come back. Alright, so let's continue. I have this so far. And they worked on the eyebrows. Come on. There we go. Okay. Everything is painted. I just still got to do a little on the zippers. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to work on the eyes. I'm going to try something a little bit different and mark out the eyes with the pencil, see if I can paint them in. If not, we'll do decals, alright? So let's get started with that. Okay, so switch my optimizers in. Now he has some pretty pronounced, not pronounced, but he's got some blue eyes, and hold on a second, I'm going to put a reference up here real quick, so give me a second. Alright, so there it is right there, the eyes. You can see how blue they are, so you have an idea, and also have an idea how I'm going to lay out the eyes on the figure here, so let's get to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to point out with the marker. This is a really fine marker. It's a 0.05. It's from it's like a black liner. It's from Molotov. These are really cool markers, and I've done something like this before. And I want to pencil in very lightly to see where I wanted to lay out the eyes. Alright, so I'm going to start by going in the middle and working my way out to the line that I marked with the pencil, which is very fine. You can barely see it. And I'll kind of mark it in there. And then I'm going to go with the blue over it once I get the outline in there. Just roughly, we'll fix it as we go. What I do is I dot it. Alright, so if you can see that, how I'm doing that, I'm dotting those lines, and then I go in and I fill them in, and hopefully I get a nice rounded centered eyeball. Right. What you're gonna have to do is let this sit after you're done to let it dry before you seal it, and then start painting. So, right. I'm using my optimizer, as you can see. A little bit bigger than this one, so I'm going to fix that. There's a little bit of touch I need to do to this, but that's okay. Alright, so I got a fix a little bit at the bottom of that eye down there, but that's okay. I'll do that later once I get all the color in. But other than that, I'm pretty happy where this is. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Alright, for now, this is what I got. Okay. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, wait till it dries, and I'll spray, and then I'll come back and we'll start putting some color on. Alright. So you have no idea the mess that I have behind the camera. So, alright, so it's a little messy, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the eyes with the dark blue. I'm going to start dark Prussian blue, get some color in there, and work my way up to the lighter colors. Alright? So, let's get going. Put some on the palette here. Dot my way in there. Alright, so I don't know if you were able to see or not, but as I was doing, I went from a darker to lighter, from right to left. Just like a little bit like it's in that picture a little bit. I wanted to capture a little bit of that darkness on the one side, going to lighter on the other. And I think I did a pretty good job with that. Alright, let's see if I can get a focus there. There we go. Alright, so that's basically what it looks like. Alright. So I still got to put the little black dot, and I'm going to use the marker for that. Alright. It's a little cheating, but you know, it works pretty well for me, so you know, I use that method. So you can use paint if you want. Alright, but the marker works pretty well. Just going to put a little dot in the center of the eye. Try to get a center as best as I can. Alright, so let's see what we got. So I just sealed it. So let me my arm situated here, so I want to make sure that I do like the way it came out. I still got to touch up the bottom of the eye, which I'm going to do that with a little pink or something. Okay. But for the most part, the eye is pretty well done right there. Right, so I got that, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's put the little black dot. Right, so bear with me if I cover you guys, you know, with this. I'm trying to do the best I can to get as much of the stuff I can on video, so bear with me. I don't have my glasses on, so I don't know if that's focused or not. I apologize. There we go, right there. The other one. That's pretty good. I want to make sure that it's big enough. Maybe I should go just a little bit bigger. Let's try to do that. lot better right there. It doesn't look like beady eyes. Alright, let's see if I can get this one a little bigger. That's a lot better. Alright, so there it is right there, guys. Pretty happy there with the results on that. Not too hard, not too shabby. You gotta have a good, you know, like I rested my arms to get centered there and everything. And I got, you know, a little holding it steady that way. It's just not moving around. Alright, just a little tip. There it is right there. Put my regular glasses on. Alright, so I gotta just touch up the bottom of that eye. Okay, the likeness is amazing. The sculpt, great job on that. Alright, so all I gotta do is just touch up the bottom of the eye there. I want to do that off camera, and maybe I'll touch up some of this zipper here. Okay, and we gotta have that close to my body, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show that. But then when we come back, we'll keep on working. I think after I'm done, what I like to do is see how the metal around the face mask is all weathered. So I'm going to want to do a little bit of that, and then at the end we'll just place the clear mask piece on the glass on there. All right, but you know, it's almost done here. And then after I'm done with the mask and everything else, I'm going to jump in and do the shotgun and the gloves. All right, and that's all we got left. Is this piece right here, and the base. We'll snow the base. I'll show you. I think I showed a video before how I did snow, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, we'll do it again. I use AK products for that, which works very, very well, very nice. All right, but there it is right there. Okay, guys. So see you in a little bit. Alright, hello and welcome back. So what we're going to be working now is on the base. Okay, let me show you real quick. I did a couple things here off camera. I finished up the gun. I don't know how much I filmed off of this, but I know I did the gloves with a gray, and then I finished up the straps and everything, and I added some nut oil over it to darken it up and weather it a little bit. Alright, so there you go right there. That's what it looks like. Okay, so everything is almost ready to go, but I gotta finish the base. Alright, so what I want to use for this is stuff that I used before, AK Interactive, terrains. I got the snow terrain. Alright. And then I have for other effects, I don't know what I'm going to be using or how I'm going to be using it. And I'm going to be using this first. But I'm not sure if I'm going to add these, which is micro balloons and snow sprinkles. So I'll see what I need to do to trying to get different effects and things like that. But yeah, I haven't used this stuff in a while. So, but anyway, we're going to use it today. All you need, this is a water base, is an acrylic base terrain stuff. You can add water to dilute it a little bit or anything like that. I'm not going to dilute it, but I'm going to use a brush, an old brush, and just add it on there. Alright, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, it dries pretty quick, so you got to work on it, work with it. I would recommend work in small areas at a time. Alright, but let's start doing that. Alright, it's very, very light and soft. And let me use an old brush to do this. There you go. I'm using just an old beat up brush just to use this stuff. I'm going to take this stuff that looks a little crusty there. This stuff right here is a little more wet. Alright. You can use a spatula to start off and just to lay it out. Here, I got one right here. A cheap old spatula. Right. This stuff works pretty well. Right. You can use a little bit of water maybe to just move it around or whatnot. Right. I should have masked it, but I can wipe it off. You know, like I said, it's a water-based acrylic, so I'm not too worried about it. And what I want to do with the brush is I don't want to give it so much the look of that I was pasting it with a spatula, more of its natural laying down. All right. Make sure you got a grip. I did prime it with a black, so I'm going to just keep it that way. I can always touch it up with some paint, the black, but we'll see. It's like making a cake. We spread some of this stuff around. It's a little bit thicker in some spots and not so much in others. Don't forget that you have to put your figure in there. Kind of want to work a little fast with this stuff before it starts to dry. See how easy and smooth it just smears on? Okay. Easy. So what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to hide some of those imperfections that I had from the print. Because I did this on a filament. It's very good print. It's just, you know, you can see, I don't want to spend the time sanding it and all that stuff like that. I'm not going to be totally honest with you. I'm being a little lazy when it comes to that, but So I just left it as is, and I figure I covered it with this stuff, and it's doing a pretty good job doing it. So there you go. Alright, so now we spread it a little bit. Switch out the water. Spatula. Just get it to swing. There you go. Get the smear a little better. Now that it's starting to dry a little bit, you can work it. Still work it a little bit. Smooth it out. You could leave some of the little raised areas, just as long as it doesn't affect the pose of your figure. Right? Put it over there. Okay. Okay, I don't want to mess with it too much more. I don't want to make it look like a bad cake either. So, I should have masked the areas that I didn't want to touch, but that's okay. I can clean it up pretty easy. All right, so there it is right there. We're going to leave this and going to let it dry. All right. I really need the brush, so I'm okay with that. I can clean this out with just put a little water in it and you're good to go. Just like a regular paint. Oop, I don't even want to get water on it, but all right. So, like I said, I don't want this stuff to dry out on me. This stuff right here. And oops. Okay. All right. So when we come back, I'm gonna see if I can use this stuff and see how that works out. All right. So let's let this dry and then we'll come back. It shouldn't take that long. All right. So this is pretty dry. It's still a little. I just put this in there, so see how it formed that. So. I want to make sure that it fits in the same area right there. Boom, that's it. Alright. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to leave this alone in the base for a little while. I'm going to move that to the side and we're going to work on some of this stuff. Alright, so take them off carefully. There we go. Put them to the side. Hopefully that'll dry a little more. Alright. So I do like the effect that it did to push up the snow up a little bit from his heels. Alright, so we'll hit that a little bit later with something else. But for now, what I want to do is, you got two more items here. You got the snow micro balloons and the sprinkles. Now the sprinkles are not what you think. Alright, this is a very wet product. And I think it's to give it that wet snow effect. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of that, not too much, maybe not even at all. I don't know yet. I want to feel as I go where this thing is going. But the snow micro balloons, this is a powdery thing. Alright, very, very thin. Okay, as you can see. Alright, now how would you apply this? Alright, the way that I did it the one time, and it worked out pretty good, is I used just your standard clear coat. Right, now the clear coat dries pretty quick, so when you apply it, as soon as it goes on, it might come out a little wet looking, but also as it dries, then you get that little more of the texture that you're probably looking for. Is the fallen fresh snow on a, like, clothing or on any object or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this first to apply it onto the figure. Okay. And what I want to do is put maybe some on his shoulder and some on his backpack and things like that. If you watch the show, as he's walking, you see that he has a lot of snow built up on his body and things like that. All right, so I want to just try to catch some of that onto the figure. All right, so let me get back to you. Let me get some stuff here ready, and I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see how it works out. Hopefully it works out good. Let's see how it comes out. But I'll be right back. Okay, so let's give this thing a try. So I got the micro balloons, right, which is the dusty snow effect. So I'm going to spray this. Should be doing this outside with a mask or well ventilated area. I'm doing this for a sole purpose of showing you guys. I do have a fan here, and you can probably hear in the background. Excuse me. But what I'm going to do is I am going to try this, and I'm going to start off over here. I'm going to use my fingers. I was trying to get something to, like a little spatula I got or whatever, but I think I got more control of my fingers. All right, so I'm just going to try and do that way. All right, so hold on a second. Let me get something before we get started. All right, so I'm going to spray real quick, and then I'm going to sprinkle. And then you might have to, I don't want to repeat it. I don't want to get it too wet because then you lose that effect. So this stuff dries pretty quick, so you want to be a little bit quick about it. All right, so let me give it a good quick spray, and then I'll sprinkle on top. And I want to do just the top parts, like probably the shoulders, a little bit on the coat, and on the backpack. Maybe some on the arms over here, but we'll see how that works out. I want to try to do a small area first, like up here. All right. All right, so I got that. And when you're done, you can blow off the excess. That's what I'm doing on top of the paper towel. It's snowing in here. Right. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to do a little bit on the shoulders. Try to keep a tight spray. Alright, same thing. I'm making a mess. Alright, so hopefully I got enough. Give it a nice effect. There you go. There you go, right there. That's not a whole lot, but it's enough to give it a little bit of weathering and that little snow effect a little bit. Alright, it doesn't really stick very well, which I'm a little disappointed. I think this stuff is just so fine. I don't know. It's more like a powder or maybe like a pastel-y. Not pastel. I don't even know what the hell this stuff is. But I kind of like the effect right there. I'm just going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Alright, I'm going to let this stuff dry off and let it sit and then finish it up by gluing the head and everything else. Alright, so I'll be back a little later. I'm going to leave it just like that. Alright, so what I try to do is use these micro balloons with this stuff, but for some reason it wasn't sticking right or didn't have the right effect that I was looking for. So that's what I came out with. You see a little bit of the white here and there, but just not the way that I want it. So what I'm going to try to do, instead of using this, I'm going to try and use some Elmer's glue. Now I tested on something, it came out pretty decent. So I'm going to grab a cheap brush. It's a little cheapo brush here. Yeah, I use one of these. It's a cheap little no name. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. This is what you guys can see. And then I'm going to apply it very lightly in areas that I want this stuff to land. Alright, so this glue probably will dry pretty quick, so let's try to do this a little quick here. So I want to do it like on top of the pack. What do you think? Stuff might land. So let me open this stuff up. It's gonna make a mess. So I got this. I'm gonna dump all back in here whatever I don't use. Alright, so I'm gonna just grab it, pinch it. That's way better. Get a little bit of that light here. That's a hell of a lot better than what I was getting before. Alright, so let's continue. We'll do a little bit at a time. So it's on the shoulder. I'm just trying to get some in the higher areas, or wherever you think this stuff is going to land. So let's put some on the coat. It's a messy job, guys. I don't want to overdo it either, so let me get some on the stuff that I did before. It gives it like a little bit of a frosty kind of look, which is okay. It's not too bad. I like it. There it is right there. That's all I want. I don't want too much. Don't want to overdo it too much. I think that's good enough right there. Well, maybe let's, I don't know, some there. Right here. Both sides. You want too much. You want enough to give that effect. So you want to overdo it. Well, this is it's very fine. Just a little bit of it. Just one. That's good enough right there. So I'm going to put this down for a sec, let it dry. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit at the top of the head. I'm a little messed up there a little bit. But it's okay. Just a little bit, a couple spots. Not too much. You don't want to overdo it, like I said, you know. Elmer's glue stuff is working out better than what I really thought, so this is good. Yeah. Give it a mess. What's good about this stuff, it blows off very easily, so I'm not too worried about. Yeah, it gives it that little frosty look. There you go. Perfect. Alright, so there it is right there, guys. Alright. So when I come back, we'll finish it off. I'll glue some of the stuff together. And hopefully it's going to look really nice. So maybe I'll put some on the boots, some of this other stuff. We'll see once everything dries off and I glue everything down. And maybe I'll add some wetness to it. Alright. So I'll be back later. Hello and welcome back, fellas. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I got as far as how I finished the kit and everything else, but I just want to make a quick little announcement before we go here. Don't forget that this kit is available by CMM Digital Sculptures on CG Trader, and the file's available there if you want to purchase and print your own copy. Okay, and head out there and check out all the other stuff that he has available. You know, he has done a beautiful job on this sculpt, and he has a bunch of other really cool things out there. So check him out. I'll leave the links down below for him. All right, and thank you so much for the opportunity for letting me work on this. This is an amazing little piece. I love it. All right, so next is also I want to make an announcement that the comic is actually being reprinted, and it's going to be available by Fantagraphics. Okay, and they're taking pre-orders now. It's going to be available for you in November. All right, so if you go there to the site, I'll leave links down below for that too, and you guys can order the full series of the comic. It's going to be released in one big book. All right, so you guys can order it there. It's available in November, and they're taking pre-orders now. Available by Fantagraphics, and I'll leave the links down below for that, which is pretty cool. It's going to be an English version, obviously. All right, so you guys that want to, you can go and purchase the comic there. I know they already signed for another season for the series, so that should be coming out hopefully next year, if not the year after. I hope sooner than later, because this series has been really cool. All right, so here, let me show you guys what I have and what my final outcome on this is. Okay, so let me show you. Now, I did make mistakes. I did try with the snow effect. That didn't work out in the beginning, but then I tried something else, and this is what I got. All right, which I think came out really cool with the snow effect. All right, I used Elmer's glue to put down so I can catch that really powdery snow, the micro balloons. Alright, and have it stick, make it look like fresh fallen snow. And then the previous attempt that I did, I just left it there because it makes it look like it's kind of like melting off a little bit, which is pretty cool too. So I got a nice effect all around, I think. Alright, so there it is right there. I'm really happy the way it came out. Alright, I did glue on the face shield. Alright, and I think that came out pretty good. Pretty clear. Alright. I did see some videos on some other stuff, and I think I want to give it a try to get even a better finish. But that will come. I'll do another video maybe on that if it works out later on. So some nice snow effect on the coat. I like the way the coat came out itself. You guys can see I did a lot of stippling, and there's some texture on the coat itself, which I don't know if your camera picks it up very well, but it is there. I hope you guys can see that, like the texture right on there. Alright, the pants, the shoes. I did put some of the other snow effect on the shoes to make it give it a little wet look, that he's been walking on the snow for a little bit. So there it is right there. Hopefully the camera can catch that too. There's some wet snow effect there from the snow sprinkles. Okay. And there's some wet snow on his boots. Right. And I put a little bit on the back of the boot, the pants. Right. But there he is right there. There's the Eternaut. This is a really nice size kit, so it's really big. It doesn't fit my screen. But there he is right there. He came out beautiful, I think. I'm really happy the way he came out. Okay, and there's the backpack, the gun. Everything is nice. I'm really, really happy the way he came out. Alright, so there he is. The Eternaut. One salvo. Alright, and you guys, if you haven't watched the series yet, I highly recommend that you guys go and check it out. There's the base with the snow. I kind of like the way that it's just flowing over a little bit. I'm just gonna just leave it like that. Now I did have the I'm reprinting the faceplate with the Eternaut name on it, and because I must have chipped it somehow, moving the thing around everywhere, so I'm gonna have to reprint it and redo it. All right, but that's okay. I can always do that later on and glue it on there. No big deal. But I do have that, and I will be reprinting that one and putting it out. There he is right there. I think it came out really great. I'll put some pictures up at the end over here as I leave you guys with this beautiful kit done by CMM Digital Sculptures. Check them out on CG Trader. Okay, I do love the way this came out. It looks amazing. It was a fun kit to paint. I know it looks very simple and everything. It took me a little bit longer than what I expected, but that's because I didn't have the time available to just, you know, get on it and just, you know, and just go out there and try to finish it, you know, sooner than later. But I still love the way it came out. All right, the wood effect came out really nice, and all I used was Noil oil and just brushed it with the grain of the wood, and I'm really happy that came out, how it came out. Not too, you know, it doesn't look like it was drawn in or you know, anything like that. It just gives it a nice little effect. Not too much and not too little, just right. Alright, so there it is right there. I like the boots, the way they came out, the face shield, everything. Everything came out great. The rifle, the shotgun, backpack, all of it. Really fun, simple kit. Just, you need to take the time and just do it. Alright. There's the snow on the top. If you guys want to see that. Alright. So there it is right there. Alright. I appreciate you guys for everything. Always the nice comments. If you like this kit, leave a comment down below. Alright. And like the work, the way it came out. If you guys got any tips, always, you know, just be nice. Alright. And just leave tips or any comments, anything like that down below. I really always appreciate them, and I thank you for always taking the time and watching. Alright, so with that, I leave you guys. Don't forget that the comic is coming out soon in November. If you guys feel like, you know, picking up the comic, I think is a really, really great read, and I think you guys should take a look. And also check out the series on Netflix. Alright, and check out CMM Digital Sculptures and all the work that he has done, and the kit that he has available. Alright, I'll leave all the links down below for you guys to check that stuff out. Alright. With that, I leave you guys. Thank you. Until next time. All right. Another kit will be coming up, paint up soon. And there's also some new announcements that I'm going to be making again pretty soon. I'll probably have a video of that first. All right. But with that, I leave you guys. Thank you again. Thank you for everything. Love you guys. All right. And see you the next time. Peace.